Before we get to Saturn and Aries, February 14th, be ready to study neutrality. What do I even mean by that, okay? Aries is a sign of war, which means there are sides, there's enemies, there's allies, there's people who are willing to fight for you, which are not always allies, okay? So there's a difference. Truth. Depends on the situation, it depends on the person, it depends on their relevance to what is happening that would need fighting for. Studying war through a neutral aspect, this is super theoretical, okay? So if you are in a situation where you need to protect yourself, please do that. Okay, just want to make it really clear before we go on. Within the theoreticalness of neutrality, all right, apply as necessary. There's always gonna be a good side. There's always gonna be a dog pile. Right, there's both. Now, war is very charged. Hello. We're always talking about it in the world. Literally always. It drives politics. It drives social cliques. It drives family conversations. Hello. Look at the world right now, okay? Okay, now that we have bases covered, metaphorically speaking, I'm not even a baseball fan, whatever. In learning about neutrality, there's always a good side, there's always a bad side. If you can look at the good side, break it down. How does it benefit me? How am I diminished by it? What are my losses by this? Because both the good and the bad, they cost something. The good is always gonna cost you. The bad's always gonna cost you. And they're different prices, obviously. And within the cost, okay, of the good, there's always gonna be a delineation of a good and a bad. And on the bad side, there's always gonna be a cost of delineation of good and bad. You might not agree with the cost of the good and the bad. You don't need to. What the need is for this particular exercise, logic, rhetoric, if you can look at the cost of the good and the cost of the bad, oh, I see that my enemy might be profiting from that, and I can see how it might be good for them. That's an example, okay? Now you're finding the corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Of those situations. Not me talking about war and them going crazy. Anyway, of course, why wouldn't they be? Now you've found the 4 corners, right? Compasses take 4 different directions. To be able to be neutral and to stand in the center and look at the direction from a neutral space and a neutral place. And again, this is not to say don't pick a side and fight for what you want, okay? This is, again, very theoretical, logical, rhetoric stuff, okay? Just to get it, because I look like what I look like, you know what I mean? And sometimes people who look like me are saying outlandish things, okay? Okay, so just to get it clear, this is a tool that can be turned into a weapon, if you want it. Now you have the compass of the situations that are going on, good, bad, and the delineations of both. And now, in your position, where you are in that current moment, looking at those directions, you can understand navigating to where you want to go. What are you fighting for? Okay, where is your destination? With that now compass that you've created, how are you going to get there? What costs are going to be expected of you? We get to any manifestation or destination or victory, honor, glory, whatever the situation might call for, okay? We get to that position, of course it's going to cost us. Hello, duh. Everything costs something. We already said it in the video, I'll say it again. All right, so sometimes in situations that would ask for your removal or approval or your action, sometimes take a breath. Saturn and Aries is very, again, war-coded. Hello. Neptune and Aries also. Sometimes the spirits want to force you to get up and fight just to knock you over so you can learn a lesson. Do we like? Is it useful? Those might be different answers, okay? As someone who works with war spirits, studies, has been studying for a time, okay? If you've ever worked with me, you know what is up and how we move over here, okay? And gratitude, reverence, and love to you, the highest spirit, and the great mother spirit, and the goddess, and the god, and the spirits who are of the highest elevation, worded encompassing, love, truth, free, honor, glory, elevation, gratitude, reverence, justice, magic, spirit, liberation, free, and love. And gratitude, reverence, and love to you, the indigenous spirits of the land where I sit, talk, walk, and stand, and where you are receiving these messages in your beautiful hand, okay? And gratitude, reverence, and love to you. There's a reason I say that at the end of literally every single video, okay? Ingrained in the practice. Moving back to this topic. Neptune and Aries, trickster in a sign of war. The oldest, wisest trickster, okay? In the sign of activating warfare, competition, stuff that you might not want to deal with. And because it's Neptune and because it's Aries, both signs require uncalled for, didn't know about it beforehand, sorts of sacrifice. Are you stressed about it? Because I'm a little bit, let me just be on the lookout about it, okay? Ugh. This is not to fearmonger. This is to hand you a tool that will help you. Ugh. Hopefully it's received like that, okay? And to bring light on the reality that is about the era that we're about to walk into, because the oldest, wisest trickster in the sign of war. Okay, anyways, get ready to study neutrality. The more that you study it, the easier that identification becomes. The easier it is to identify who is fighting for what, how are they getting there, so their position, what they want, and the path in the middle. We all have one. Okay, every single one of us, even if they've decided to fight for nothing. And in my opinion, a lot of times that's ignorance. So you're fighting for ignorance, you're gonna have a path to get there too, okay? Ugh. Anyways, to be able to navigate through warfare and how you are doing that will sometimes determine if there is a victory for you or not. And if that victory is spiritually sound, which while Neptune is in Aries is going to be the big concept and the conversation about if our victories and our strategies, again, talk about the fighting good. They're brothers. Sometimes they need it. You know, whatever, that was a nuanced comment too, but we're moving on. Getting tricked into warfare, okay, also going to be a theme for Neptune and Aries. A lot of the times, the fighting spirit, they want to fight. Duh. Imagine that you're at a tavern or a bar, okay? A place where intoxication is occurring. And there's a person there who likes to fight. Don't you think they're going to look for opportunities to pick a fight? Don't you think they're going to poke at people, boop, boop, until somebody decides that they're going to fight back? If you can study and learn about neutrality, you can sit and get poked all in. You think I'm going to feed your fighting spirit? You think I'm gonna feed what you're doing, knowing that your war is for war because you just like to fight? You think I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna remove myself from my seat that I earned, that I'm sitting in, that I chose, that I was placed in by spirit? You think I'm gonna get up out of that and not mind my business and decide that I'm gonna pick a fight with you? You being that fighting spirit, right? No, I'm not gonna do that because I've spent a long time, and this is on a personal level, this is why I'm bringing it to you. I spent a long time learning about what I fight for, how I do that, why I do it, what needs to be said, what needs to be unspoken, the pathways of how I'm gonna get there, and what spirit allows me to do. Which spiritual allowance of things is kind of a whole other conversation, but also when it comes to fighting, sometimes we're allowed to and sometimes we are not. Like everything else in spirit, okay? This is a really nuanced topic. And talking about, I'm gonna say this at the end, maybe I should have said this at the beginning, whatever, we're gonna say it now. Fighting and war is a very, very nuanced topic, and there are obviously many complexities and there are many issues that get many people very, very worked up. I'm not here, again, to poke. I don't want to fight, okay? For nothing. I don't want to, because, like, listen, I'll stand up. Okay. In the scariest way you can think of. Got it. And because I know that I'm capable of that, I would rather not a lot of the time. So I say that to say, please don't fight me in the comments, okay? I love you. Don't. This is me trying to help bring you an offering to make the next era a little easier. If you disagree with me, I say this because I know that we're talking about the fighting spirits, which means they're probably going to be around. And that's fine if you draw power on that. We all do, okay? We're humans on the earth. We've all got a little bit of zzz within us. And I'm always going to be here, standing for the spirits who are of the highest elevation, who are working on the behalf of the elevation of the lot of us. It's just so that we're clear on it, okay? Okay. That was kind of a lot to say, but study neutrality. There's so many pockets of wisdom. Oh my gosh. If you really pick it up and you decide, you know what, that sounds like this resonates and that sounds like something that I'm gonna do. Resonates? I feel it. I need to pick it up. It resonates, sure, but I feel it. I know that is for me. Yeah, I know. Anyways, if you pick it up and you decide that it works for you, beautiful. I'm grateful that I could help. It also, studying that will teach you prior to situations where you do not have time to debate who you are and how you're going to handle it. And one of the things that Odin tells me in my practice, whom I love and adore, okay, who's also a god of war, crazy. He tells me that the most dangerous fates are the ones that you cannot debate, because then they get bound up and wrapped up and they're going to continue for probably a while. So if you can study that neutral position before you get into positions where now you don't have the time, Saturn in Aries also, not having the time to think about it, then you know who you are. You already know what you're choosing and you know how you're doing it. And it'll save you a lot of time, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of hardship. Gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Keep up the brew that you do, okay? We have a whole new era coming through. Hopefully this video can help to prepare you. That was the point of it, so, hopefully. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Keep up the work. And congrats. Good job. You're doing great. It's also true. Yeah.